Hi everyone, meteorologist Chad Evans here with your daily weather forecast video, sponsored always by Trent Johnson State Farm. TrentIsMyAgent.com. We're already seeing the changes today. We're starting to get the melt come in. More puddles occurring as temperatures finally rise above freezing. The thaw and the melt will be accompanied by eventual rainfall that comes in Thursday, and that could bring anywhere from a third to perhaps 6/10 of an inch of rainfall, with the ground still struggling to really thaw significantly, completely through the top foot of topsoil. It means that some of this water is going to pond, and it's going to take a while for it to seep in. So there'll be considerable amounts of likely ponding water in your yard, and your yard's just going to be a muddy mess. And I know when you're feeding livestock, when the top layer is thawed out and it's raining, and then you still have some frozen underneath, the water sits there and it is a mess trying to get livestock fed out there in the mud. And that's going to be the case this go around. We do have a few bouts of cooler weather ahead, but they're pretty short-lived. They're not significant, and we're really going to have to wait, I think, until January, specifically early to perhaps mid-January, to get more significant or substantial cold in here. And still looks like, as it's looked all along, a warmer Christmas period with rainfall rather than snowfall. Temperatures on the rise, 36 at Crawfordsville. Look at that, Rockville's at 42. Even down here where the snowpack is deeper, temperatures are warming up as the warmth comes in. The warm air advection begins to come in. This is warm air on the move that's bringing a 34 to Delphi. There was still 30 at the Cass County Airport, 29 at the Winnemac Airport, and 35 at Marianne's Place there in Remington, and we're holding at 35 at Sheridan. But with some patchy high and mid-level clouds today, we'll see more in the way of that tomorrow, but not after some areas of freezing fog and black ice here and there late tonight and tomorrow morning. And then the clouds really thicken up Wednesday evening, followed by rainfall. Two main waves of rainfall early Thursday morning and then right through Thursday afternoon, and a pretty sharp cold front. Behind that front, the rain may end as a few flurries and snow showers into Thursday night and perhaps early on Friday morning. So here's your first wave of rain, there's your second wave of rain. So the first wave of rain is really with very strong warm air advection coming in, and between that some drizzle and patchy light rain, and then a band of rain with the actual cold front coming in from the west. Wind strong out of the southwest. But even with the strong wind from the southwest, we'll still likely have some areas of fog around. It will be like kind of like steam rolling off this cold ground and all this snow melting over the area. And then behind that, again, we see a few flurries and snow showers come in. Could have a few light dustings of snow. That wouldn't surprise me. Local dustings of snow early on Friday morning. And Friday is going to be a colder, windy day. Not excessively cold, but colder compared to Thursday, and you see the tight lines, pretty strong wind too, before we bounce back and warm up rapidly right after that. There are the rainfall totals. Again, this model in particular shows about a ½ inch in Attica, about 4/10 roughly in Greater Lafayette, perhaps ½ an inch here east of Flora. Higher amounts Crawfordsville to Kokomo, 4/10 or third of an inch or so from Rochester, Winnemac, Medaryville, Francisville area back to Morocco, and perhaps around 4/10 of an inch around Fowler. Now, once we get that warmer air in, it will tend to be pushed back to the south once again by another cold front. Now that cold front, first it looked like it was going to come through late Sunday, and every model run it's a little earlier and a little earlier. So that cold front will likely come through very late Saturday night or early on Sunday morning, more likely Saturday night. Not as much moisture as it looked like before, but I am expecting perhaps a few showers and a little drizzle associated with that front. But as quickly as it cools off a little bit, it warms back up again, and we're setting the stage for rainfall for around Christmas Eve. Rainfall coming in with warmth too, because these little cool shots between now and December 30th, they don't last. They're very brief. They kind of skip through. Warmth comes back in towards Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. My thought process here is that the core of the warmth will be Christmas Eve, and then we'll probably have our high temperature early on Christmas Day, Christmas morning, and then temperatures falling into the afternoon. Now, if the front slows down, it'll bring us a warm spring like Christmas Day. We'll keep an eye on that, but regardless, mild weather pretty much to the end of the year. There'll be another surge of warmth actually that comes in around the 28th of December that'll send our temperatures way above normal. But there are changes brewing. We get to just after New Year's. I do expect one shot of colder air to come in. We'll likely have a clipper system. Now that clipper system may have a little minor accumulating snow with it. Likely a little bit of a warm up after that. But then we get to mid-January, and if you look here, this is cross-polar flow. Note the cold coming in here like a knife into our area, and trace the cold all the way back here through Alaska, Siberia, clear on the other side of the North Pole. We call that cross-polar flow. And if you get cross-polar flow, and it coincides with a stratospheric warming event that we're likely going to see here a few weeks prior, that indicates that we're going to have an unleashing of Arctic air, basically. So I would count on that mid-January, the Arctic air coming back in. This is kind of a polar vortex kind of event, temperatures dropping below zero. We will likely have a snowfall event just prior to this big outbreak of colder air coming in. So this could put down some decent snowpack for us. Now here's the thing. Once we get rid of the first cold wave and we see that first round of heavier snow in mid-January, I do think it will warm up. In fact, between the two cold waves, I'll go to this graphic first, between those two Arctic blasts, between mid-January and the very end of January to early February, it will likely warm up and we'll have ice jam risk in our area. You can see temperatures way above normal during that time. However, between the two, even though we'll have warmth then, we got to get through this first round of cold and then the second round of intense cold, and then you put down all this snowpack. So the first round of cold, we get the snowpack in, then we melt it with the warmth, and then I think that second round of cold, we could put down a little more snow, and then eventually towards like mid-February, we'll melt that off and we'll see a nice warm up in mid-February. So I know I'm going pretty far ahead here and looking ahead for you, but I want to be we want to get right out in front of all this, and I want to show you all the data I've analyzed and kind of give you an idea of what's going to occur over the next few weeks and few months. So all that said, we'll kind of segue back to more, I guess not long term, but short term. The word was right on my tongue. Short-term forecasting, 42 the high on Wednesday after 31 in the morning. Now be aware of some patchy freezing fog, and even tomorrow afternoon, despite the breeze, there could still be some patchy fog in our northern counties. Maybe a little colder up there. Clouds, some sun, 36 Winnemac, but 45 at Rockville. I mean, even today it's 42 already. 39 Remington, we're in the low 40s at Flora as the thaw continues. Tomorrow night, temperatures rising. We drop to 37 initially, then rise to 45 by 7 a.m. That wind kicks up, but even with the wind, there'll be like steam, like fog rolling off this cold ground and some of this snowpack and ice on area rivers and streams, with the showers increasing towards sunrise. And the rainfall will be with us. Two main waves of heavier rainfall and then some drizzle and light rain in between. Areas of fog and a lot of wind on Thursday. Winds strong from the southwest, but look at that 51-degree high. Then falling to 35 by 7 p.m. with a few rain and snow showers, with highs anywhere from 46 to 54 doing it. Forecast area wide. Friday, again, a few little dustings of snow Thursday night, early Friday morning. Otherwise, 31, breezy, windy, much warmer Saturday at 48. A few showers late Saturday evening and Saturday night. Breezy Sunday, 40, colder, 40 Monday, 46, couple showers Tuesday. Christmas Eve looks wet with 50s. There's Christmas Day with temperatures slowly falling during the afternoon, and then a 40 the day after Christmas. And we'll see another surge of warmth coming in with temperatures way above normal towards the 28th.